Forgot to turn the light on. You don't want to be too dark here. Hi, Tony and Bruce and Geezer. Hey, Donald, how are you? Um, well, anyway, got here on time today, so that was. Remember the microphone, forgot the light. How you doing, Hughes Junior? Hey, Clyde, how are you? David, how are you? Two Junior. Okay. uh, okay, guys. Hi, Joseph. Stuart, how are you? Uh, a bunch of stuff has happened. It happened all at once. Things we were waiting for. Unfortunately, the one that I was hoping to hear from was uh, Aganor, but I'm not sure what they're doing. Hi, Tim. But there's we heard a bunch from other people. One, Maria Harboring uh, contacted me. Said we have if you get a minimum of 10, we could get them for this is for the A11. Is that would be like I think 1,500 euro. Okay, so that's one of the better prices. It's not as good as the Vaucheur, but with the Vaucheur, you have to buy 25, which is a lot of money. So this one we require 10. We had talked to earlier with Rolf Lang, and it was five, but those were 5,000 a piece, which is a little, that probably is more than a lot of people want. The thing with Lang and Heim, UWD, is those were like 3,800 euro, which is around 4,000 bucks, something like that. Um, okay, what else was there? Um, I think those were all of the ones we connected with. Hi, Doc, A and B. Um, so I think we're caught up with that. Now, another thing came up that one of them sort of today, and that was the possibility that this guy who has bought several Vaucheur may have some left over, and that he'd be willing to sell them to us. One was, I think, 3,002 or something like that. The one that we wanted, and like I said, those had been around 1,000 bucks a piece. And then he may have some extra 50. I think they're 5,200 or 5,400. I'm not sure how much they are, but I think they're probably more closer to around 14, 1,500. They're automatics with the micro rotor from Vaucheur. They're very, very nice. I think too that they're 3 hertz. All of the other ones, they sort of have a two-tier thing. One's in the 3,000s and one's in the 5,000s. The 5,000 more expensive, more complex, and are 3 hertz instead of four. So that's nice. So that's another possibility is that some of us say, well, I'll just go off on my own and I can get a Vaucheur, maybe a couple from this guy. So that's another possibility. Now, another one that just came up today is the, what's his name? Let me get the name right here. One of the, one of the AHCI guys. Now, this is AHCI is the one of the, that's all of the top independents are part of it. They have to be invited into it. It's got everyone from Philippe Dufour to F.P. Journe to just on and on. And I think they have around 30 members or so, and then they have some wannabe members and so forth. Even to be a wannabe member, you got to be invited. Anyway, there's one of them is called Lin Young Hua, HUA. And a guy that I know contacted him about making us the jumping hour and the jumping hour and the retrograde minutes, like we had approached Agenor about. And, so that would be a very interesting possibility. I mean, it's sort of like what I might do if we decide to go with that. I'd contact Agenor and say, look, we haven't heard from you, so this is what we're going to do. But if you go ahead and get it later on, that's something that we would still be interested in. At least I would be. So anyway, so that's sort of where we are right now. It's on the one hand, we don't have anything. Well, we have a couple things for certain. We actually do. The Vaucheur, but they want 25. The Rolf Lang, those are 5, but they were the most expensive. The UWD 33.1-2 is available. The 33.2 is not available. Those were about, I think, 3,800 euro, something like that, which is roughly $4,000. So that's another option. See what else is there. So now, and then we have this guy. He said he may have a few extra ones if you say, well, I really want to have a Vaucheur, and you guys can, go my way, you go yours. You can do that. Or you can say, hey, in addition to whatever we get, I'd like to get a Vaucheur from this guy if I could. Either the one with the micro rotor or the other one. Okay, so those are the options. And then I'm waiting to hear back on the. This guy said, "Oh yeah, I can make one of those for you." The law said that, and here's an independent. Now, a lot of you probably know of Ahsoka, I think his name, Jaime Ahsoka. He made to get my hands on those things though. Are around 20-something thousand. That. Okay, so that's where we are right now. Hi, Jay Brand. Hi, Lee Branford. How are you? Mr. Gumby. Let's see, a bunch of people. Hi, let's see, if I buy used, is it me not supporting? Nah, no. Let's see what else is going on here. Okay, yeah, the video, we have a threatening thunderstorm. I don't know what it is, and we got who knows what's going on. I give it up. Let's see. Okay, that's it. Thanks, Hughes. That's what I'm talking about. But this is a guy on that same level. And we're talking about a bespoke movement. I mean, like, who's got a bespoke movement? Of course, we ask Agenor the same thing. No wonder he quit returning our communication. Hey, Brian, how you doing? Hey, Travis, Andreas, how are you? So anyway, we have some interesting stuff going on in Cyprus. Oh, good, great. Hey, you guys, I'm looking good in Cyprus. The rest of you don't count. Oh, man. Okay. So what are your thoughts on that? Should I pursue all of them? Okay. We got the thing with Harboring 2, require 10 of us. Thing with Vaucheur, require 25. Thing with Rolf Lang would require 5. The thing with UWD for the 33.1-2, which is the one with the small seconds at 9. think it's 6 o'clock. I think it's at 6. Yeah. Is it? Yeah. On the other hand, though, and then the thing with harboring two, the small sequence would be at 9 o'clock. Then we have this whole other thing. We get a bespoke movement, uh, which would blow my mind. And it may not be that crazy expensive. They were, I was talking with this guy and he said, well, they want, he said, if they offer this much, well, I do negotiate. And so right now I was talking, well, for 2,500, maybe we could get 10 guys. And I'm serious about that. I think well, I may buy all 10. It would be great to have one. And with the retrograde minutes, and then at the bottom, the jumping hours. So that, I mean, having from Agenor would be, would also be great. And any of these other ones would, is for putting together a watch that would sell for far more than we'll be able to put it together for. It'd be sort of cool. So that's what the situation is. Hey, Mark, how are you doing? How are things out in Washington? Okay, still say wait for Agenor unless people are in a hurry. I'm not in any hurry, but Hughes, I'm all for Agenor too. But here's my view on it. If this guy, if Hua can put a movement together that we're going to get in a reasonable amount of time, and lets us know about it for a price that's reasonable, we can get, and then Agenor comes along later and says, oh, okay, now we're ready to go. Even though I haven't heard from him in months. So, okay, we'll get those too. I mean, I've got no problem about getting more than one, just like our collection. And from either one of these guys, we'd be getting something from the very top. But on the other hand, it's not a matter of being in a hurry. It's a matter of being able to get anything, of going back to what we originally wanted. So that's just, I agree with you. I'd rather have an Agenor than anything. On the other hand, no, the idea of a AHCI master watchmaker putting a bespoke movement together for us, that just freaks me out. So we've got, there's no reason to close one door when we open another. We simply, it's because, for Agenor, they may say, look, they may talk to me and say, look, yeah, a bunch of guys, once the quarantine's over, they're going to go back to being, their usual selves again, and sort of wondering where the next watch is coming from. So let's not bother with them. On the other hand, here's this guy that if we could get something like that, I just think it'd be super cool. But that, hey, level 11. Okay. Okay, yeah, Fahrenheit 451. Yeah, they're all flying. Boy, I think it was 37 millimeters. I believe that was it. I think so. It'd be a little big, and we'd probably end up with a 45 millimeter case on that. And that was what a lot of people said, it was too much. So, hey, how you doing? Okay, we don't know where Eddie's going to be. Eddie may be up in Cambridge, Mass. He may be. Um, so we got to keep an eye on him. Yeah. Oh boy. Good with a retrograde second B. A retrograde movement, jumping hour. That's it. Want to see if it's working? Turn it over. Look at the balance on it. Unless you really want one, have one special made for you. All right. God. Uh, hey, Brennan, how you doing? Don, everyone doing? Hey, Mark. Mark J, you check your mail? Okay. Jesus. Hey, Travis, what's up? Any $1,000 movement options? Sorry to repeat my question. Sorry I didn't answer it. The only one that looks viable right now is the Vaucher. Now, if let's say that we decide to go in another direction other than Vaucher, Travis, there's that option of that guy who's got a few for sale that he may be able to sell you one, okay, for right around that amount, but none of this is guaranteed. Donald, Mark, Jay, that's what I was thinking. You guys want to put a second hand on there? Man, I'll tell you what, you guys want a second hand, go get one. You go make a deal and have them make it for you. Because to have this, to have a, Jesus, never mind. I don't even. All right. What about the rest of you guys? We could, the thing is that there are all kinds of options, but we want to make one that is, if you want something that looks like an unusual dress watch, always something. So anyway, have to throw a wrench in the works every time. It's always something. God. Yeah, Fahrenheit. Yeah, 45 millimeters would be stretching it. Tell you, Mark, no. All right. If you like it, you go get it. You go take care of everything. You have no idea what's involved to add that to a movement. We're talking about a bespoke movement. You want to add something that nobody uses except to see if it's running or not. I just don't see it. But if you want it, you're on your own. Can we have a, yeah, all right, well, that's different. You can have a for Yante as well. That would be cool. All right. Yeah, that's right, Don. Every time, though, it's got to be something. Oh, hey, by the way, you got this. You've been working on this. You've been talking with someone. Hey, here's a wrench. Throw it right in there. Man, I don't know what's going on some people's heads. Oh, here's another wrench. Whoomp. Go ahead and do it yourself. I'm ready to give up. Something that just any other ideas? Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do, Mark. Is that you get you know oh, I'm going to get a hat. We'll put a propeller on the top. What? Hey, Joseph. I prefer high horology watches without seconds. And without hacking, yeah. That's a funny thing. Hacking, and I think before, it seems that most German watches have it. I know that both the UWD has it, as well as the Rolf Lang. They both have it. And it's very popular with the Germans. Mark, it's not just sharing your thoughts. It's saying things like, "Oh, we really need something like this," and you have no idea what is involved. I mean, here you work on something and you work on something, or it's just my idea, and then you insist on it. Oh, think about it, and it'll be better. It drives me nuts. Like, oh, it must be easy thing to do. It's not. These things, here we'll throw on something that none of us ever use, except to see whether the watch is working or not. Sometimes, don't ahead of time. Well, these are my thoughts, and I don't even think about them. I just getting fed up with it all. It's just like juggling too much stuff, and then we're trying to find something. No. Ah, hey, Lord, what's your name? We need more affordable hand winding chronometers on the market. I agree with that. You chatted with the dial maker. No, I haven't. I got to do that. I got to do that. Um, I've got to, that I've got to do. Um, we're just now coming out of uh, our pandemic. Got this thing, little Johnny Cupcake. I asked for an extra large. They sent me this thing that looks like a G string. I mean, just this little bitty thing that they have. It's always something. Okay. Take five, nice cup of tea. No, what I need is a good shot of whiskey. That would be just so, some certain things you get with, and anyway. Okay, that is how the camels came about. It was committee trying to design a horse. Yeah, yeah. That's. Oh, hey, by the way, speaking of committees, one thing I would like to do as a committee on the High Horology Lounge, we put up a a thing for voting. Okay, the morning group said, "Hey, why don't you?" Um, why don't I asked, would you rather have me do it, or what I would prefer really is you guys vote on it. So I put a poll up there, and you can vote for who to send a watch to. That's basically who just want to watch on the design. And a few people have done it, but not too many. And I'd like to see more do it. If you could. Yeah, air on a G string. That's about. I don't believe this thing. This is an extra large. It doesn't look extra large to me. I tell you, this is for Gypsy Rose Lee or something. Uh, Good metaphor. Yeah, well, so do the best they can. Oh man, none of this. Trying to put this together, I think is something that is it's hard enough during where nobody's coming to work and doing all of this other kind of stuff. But it's a trying thing as you try to get it focused onto one thing. It becomes even more important. And the if we could pull it off, though, my God, that would be having a essentially what we will have done is to design a watch that nobody else has with a bespoke movement. And to me, that would be huge. I mean, no one else will have a watch like this. People pay, they go to that watch only thing and they pay millions for a watch. And that would be the fun thing about it. That would be something that would come out of it. To have it either by a company like Agenor or this guy who's on his way to being a top watchmaker who already has apparently done enough to be admitted into the AHCI. That would just be huge. Anyway, that's my view of it. Mr. Gumby, oh, you're wrong about that. Oh, Antonio. How you doing, Antonio? If what you get when you order a mask from a guy who makes cupcakes, yeah. Yeah, I was given a lecture this morning by someone who said, "Well, they got to be, something 95, or they got to be this, or they got to be that." And you know, uh, yeah, Travis, this is what the problem is. Until we can figure out what movement that we can get, then we'll have to go to the case maker and find out what it would cost for the case, and then finally to the dial maker for the dial. If let's say that coming in with the one for $1,000 from Vaucher, that would be one price, but the next steps, there are a lot of different ways we could go on that. So this is why I think early on we decided let's take it one step at a time, and that's the plan. But we've got to wait, but it can be very, it's getting to be very frustrating because the odd thing is that I would like to go back to Agenor and say, I don't want to say, well, look, if you're not going to do it, uh, yeah, we got this other guy who will. But instead, is that if you can't do it, let us know because we'd still like to go ahead with something. None of this stuff is, all of it is sort of is sort of trying to roller skate on breaking ice because it's very iffy kind of thing. No, no, no. We'll have the perpetual calendar, and we can put all of those in. Those are easy. Vaushur movement, yeah, yeah. It's you see, once we get it done, we get it done. Situation in our area, apparently, I don't know. Our area we're relatively rural, so things are pretty good with us. The next town over where we do our grocery shopping has had zero. Our town is sort of spread out, and we live on the rural part of it on the north side. And things here are relatively quiet because social distancing is what we have. I mean, that's just the nature of the place. Um, it's a, I think it's important that, I try to, since I'm retired, I'm in a very different position. And I really sympathize with the people who, are waiting to go back to work. It can get crazy expensive waiting for that. People starting school, all kinds of stuff like that. Here, we're in pretty good shape. I just, what the big concern is that the, in terms of this whole thing, at least in our country, we don't have much national leadership, almost none, and so it's been up to the states pretty much. Some states have really been on the ball, others haven't. Some are high density, like our state. Others are relatively low density, like Oklahoma, and it's all over the place. And what I'm concerned about is this winter, we could come back with a really heavy hitter. There's been a lot of protests lately, and I don't know. It's just hard to know where things are going. But right now, where we are, we're going to just we're going to stay put, and I worry about everybody else. So, any looters? No, geezer. The looters. What the looters were? They took advantage of a protest for looting, but we don't have any looters. This is, you know, we we got bears. We don't worry about looters. We worry about bears. Looters know better than. This is not a we're not, no. The only looter there may be, I may join a demonstration in New York, and when I go by, uh, one of the watch stores I like, I'll call them a name and break a window and see how many I can grab. But no, that's we're sort of in very trying times, and it's like I remember 9/11 is that good God, here I had a bunch of students whose moms or dads worked in the Twin Towers, and Jesus God, that was I didn't think it could get any worse than that, and it was really bad. And then we've been all of this stuff, just one thing after another. So uh, I think we're getting pretty good adapting at one crisis after another. So I don't know. I don't want to go on about that. That's of the essence of time. 2 minute summary of what you're talking about for people just joining. Pandemic has gotten, yeah, Junior, I think you got a point there. Hey, Mark, ever since Memorial Day, our daily cases have been going up. Don't know when our country can move to open up. Yeah, and a lot of people, and it's understood, hey, we want to open up again and we want to get going, but it's really hard, very, very, very difficult. All right, well, let me give the 2 minute summary and then we can all go home and get drunk or something. That might be fun. All right, here's the 2 minute summary. These are the options. We have sure, if we have 25 people who are going to pony up about $1,000 a piece. Two, we have Rolf Lang for a minimum of 5, but those are at $5,000 a piece. Third, we have Harboring 2, which is $1,500 each for A11, and A11s, the way they are, they're set up for a sub-second at 9 o'clock. I mean, it sort of like limits the design options we have. That's the only thing about that. What else do we have? UWD, we had hoping to get the one with center seconds on UWD, but that has been, at first they told us October, then it's been delayed indefinitely. And the 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 so that one we can go with them, and it's about 3,800 euro or around $4,000 for the UWD with the small seconds, and I think they're at 6 o'clock. The UWD 33.1 -2. The -2 is I guess, something they added to it. The other option is that we can pursue this guy in China and find out how many people we would need and how much it would cost to have a bespoke with the jumping hour and the retrograde seconds. So that's where we are right now. And trying to keep all of these focused is what we need to do. Okay, so listen, let's get drunk. I'll see you guys next time. Or if you don't drink, which I don't much, but do something else. Everyone be safe. Take care.